Imagine you're sitting in a quiet coffee shop, across from the woman whose attention you've always wanted. Have you ever wondered if there is a way for you to keep her fascinated and completely immersed in what you have to say? The mystery behind mind control lies not only in words, but also in small actions that we often do not pay attention to. Dear friends, are you curious about how psychologists and philosophers like Stoic used these techniques to powerfully influence others? Morgan reveals 7 dark yet powerful psychological techniques you can apply immediately. Have you ever noticed someone making you feel less confident just by being silent? Or have you ever been attracted to someone who made you feel like they were indispensable in your life? Surely your answer will be yes. And Morgan here not only wants to help you better understand these tips, but also wants to inspire you to live a happier and more meaningful life. Lessons from Stoicism not only help us control the minds of others, but also help us control our own. Join me on the journey to discover and change your life in a more positive direction. Join me in starting this journey by leaving a comment. Psychological tricks to discover how these lessons not only apply to male-female relationships, but can also change the way you interact with people around you. Together we will explore and change lives in the most positive direction. Did you know that, according to research, people who are able to control their emotions well often achieve more success in life, especially in relationships? Controlling your emotions can make a big difference. Today we will explore how to apply the principles of emotional control to create powerful and profound influence. Coming to number 1, apply emotional control principles. Morgan has always believed that controlling emotions is not only the key to living a happy life, but also a way to create influence in relationships with others. Stoic philosophy teaches us that it is not events that create our emotions, but how we react to them. Epictetus. From personal experience, Morgan has realized that maintaining composure and controlling my emotions helps me deal with difficult situations more effectively. When you encounter a stressful situation, try stopping and asking yourself, are my emotions really helping me in this moment? In most cases, the answer will be no. This not only helps you avoid impulsive actions, but also creates respect and trust from the other person. One of the most effective ways to control emotions is through the practice of meditation and mindfulness. When you meditate, you learn to observe your emotions without getting carried away with them. This helps you react more rationally instead of letting your emotions take over. Imagine you are in the middle of a tense argument with a woman you are interested in. Instead of reacting immediately to offensive words, you take a deep breath, calm down, and respond gently. Not only will this help you maintain your composure, but it will also create a strong impression of your control and confidence. Remember, controlling your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It's important to identify and understand your emotions. This will help you make the right decisions and not get caught up in a spiral of negative emotions. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "You have control over your thoughts. It is not external events that matter, but how we interpret them." What do you think about controlling emotions in daily life? Have you ever tried meditation to improve this ability? Please share your experience below in the comments. As you practice emotional control, remember that this is a long journey and requires patience. Don't be discouraged if you have difficulty at first. Start with small steps like meditating for 10 minutes every day or writing a diary of your emotions. Gradually, you will see a noticeable improvement. Controlling our emotions is a solid foundation for us to not only control ourselves, but also create influence on others. Once you have mastered this art, you will clearly see the power of maintaining composure and control in any situation. This leads us to the next equally important step. Use subtle pressure techniques. It is from emotional control that we can create hidden, gentle, but powerful effects, causing others to think and act the way we want. Let Morgan explore number 2. Utilize subtle pressure techniques. Imagine you're face to face with someone you care deeply about, but every conversation feels like you're being overwhelmed. How can you tactfully direct the conversation without hurting either of you? In Stoic philosophy, the use of subtle pressure is not to control or impose force on others. Instead, it is the art of leading and guiding without causing conflict or feeling coerced. Seneca once said, "Our goal is not to overcome resistance, but to avoid it." This clearly reflects the Stoic philosophy of using intelligence and ingenuity to achieve goals without creating opposition. A personal story I want to share with you is about a time I had to resolve a conflict at work. A colleague always seems annoyed and opposes all my opinions. Instead of direct confrontation, I started applying subtle pressure techniques by listening more and asking open-ended questions, making him think for himself and slowly change his point of view. Gradually, we not only resolved the conflict, but also built a better working relationship. Subtle pressure can start small, but have big effects. For example, when you want someone to change their behavior, instead of asking directly, try using gentle and positive suggestions. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Instead of blaming the darkness, light a candle." This gentle and tactful encouragement will not only help you achieve your goals, but also keep your relationship strong. One of the subtle pressure techniques you can apply is to create a feeling of need and value. When you make others realize their importance in a particular situation, they will voluntarily change their behavior to meet your expectations. This is not only pressure, but also a driving force for the development and improvement of both sides. Have you ever tried applying subtle pressure techniques in your daily life? Please share your story. What are your feelings about using subtle pressure to achieve goals? Remember, subtle pressure is not the use of force to coerce, but the art of using tact and intelligence to achieve consensus. When you do this with sincerity and respect, you will find your relationship become stronger and more meaningful. Subtle pressure is the art of leading others without causing conflict. But to achieve a deeper level of influence, we need to go deeper into understanding and exploiting their psychological weaknesses. Once you have mastered the use of subtle pressure, you will find that identifying and exploiting psychological weaknesses will not only help you exert a stronger influence, but will also help you better understand the other person. This brings us to the exciting and important next step. Join Morgan to discover how to open the door to deeper, lasting relationships. Number 3. understand and exploit psychological weaknesses. Have you ever wondered how some people can read other people's minds so easily and use that information to create powerful influence? In Stoic philosophy, understanding and exploiting the psychological weaknesses of others is not to cruelly manipulate them, but to lead them to better decisions for themselves and the relationship. Epictetus once said, "The wise man must remember that he is a spectator to the drama of life." Understanding other people's psychological weaknesses means that we become wise audiences, recognizing and reacting at the right time and place. Understanding psychology begins with listening and observing. A personal story I want to share is when I realized my friend Jessica always felt insecure about her career. Instead of criticizing or giving empty advice, I started by encouraging her to share more about her worries and fears. Through this, I not only better understood her fears, but also found ways to support him more effectively. Exploiting psychological weaknesses does not mean taking advantage, but knowing how to encourage and support at the right time. When you realize someone is not feeling confident, instead of criticizing, find a way to praise and motivate them. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is in your power, do the best you can." This helps you build a relationship based on trust and respect, while making a profound impact without being hurtful. One of the techniques to exploit psychological weaknesses is to create an emotional connection. When you share your own story and show empathy, others will feel safer to open up. This helps you not only understand them better, but also guide them through those weaknesses. Have you ever discovered other people's psychological weaknesses and used them to help them? Please share your story. How do you think understanding and exploiting your psychological weaknesses can improve your relationship? Remember, everyone has their own weaknesses, and understanding them will not only help you make an impact, but also build stronger and deeper relationships. When you do this with sincerity and respect, you will find yourself becoming not only a leader, but also a trusted friend. In male-female relationships, understanding and exploiting psychological weaknesses not only helps you create a deep connection, but also opens the door to applying more subtle tactics. Once you have mastered this art, you will realize that sometimes silence is the most powerful tool. Silence can create suspense, curiosity, and anticipation, thereby causing the other person to question and think more about you. Morgan explores how to use silence strategically to create a powerful impact in your relationship. Number 4. Use silence strategically. Did you know that, according to one study, 85% of successful conversations are based on listening rather than talking? Sounds unbelievable, right? In Stoic philosophy, silence is not only the absence of sound, but also a space to reflect, listen, and better understand yourself and others. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen more and speak less." Using silence skillfully can bring unexpected effects in our relationships. Morgan's personal experience proves that in tense conversations or when wanting to make a strong impression, silence can be a secret weapon. One time when I was faced with a fierce argument, instead of continuing to argue, I decided to stay silent and listen. As a result, the other person feels surprised and begins to question their point of view. My silence not only calmed the situation, but also created a space to reflect and re-evaluate what was said. Silent, strategic can create anticipation and curiosity. When you stay silent, other people will feel the need to fill that void, and this makes them think more about what you said or did. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The strength of a man is not his ability to talk much, but his ability to be silent at the right time." In male-female relationships, this is especially important. When you stay silent, the other person will feel the need to approach and get to know you more, creating a stronger and deeper connection. One of the useful tips is to know when to stay silent. During conversations, try creating small silences after each answer. This not only gives you time to think, but also allows the other person to feel heard and respected. Silence is also a way for you to control the situation, not let your emotions overwhelm you, and make more informed decisions. Have you tried using silence strategically in your daily life? Please share your experiences with Morgan and everyone. Remember, silence is not weakness, but a sign of confidence and wisdom. When you know how to use silence strategically, you will find yourself becoming stronger and creating a more positive influence in every relationship. It can be said that in a relationship between men and women, strategic silence not only helps you create space to think, but also increases the value of each word and action. When you know how to stay silent at the right time, you will make the other person feel your importance and uniqueness. This leads us to another subtle technique, creating a feeling of scarcity and value. When you know how to make yourself precious and rare, you will make others always look forward to and appreciate your presence. Join Morgan, discover how to create scarcity and value in your relationship to create a stronger and more sustainable impact. Number 5. Create a sense of scarcity and value. Do you know why some people have the natural ability to attract and retain others? How can you become precious and irreplaceable in the eyes of others? In Stoic philosophy, creating a sense of scarcity and value is not a tactic to manipulate others, but a way to affirm one's true worth and attract respect. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You are worth what you judge yourself to be." This reminds us that scarcity is not a lack, but a perception of one's own value. When you make yourself precious and rare, you are sending the message that your time and presence are valued. This is especially important in male-female relationships. A personal story I want to share is about the time I realized I was spending too much time and energy on someone without receiving adequate appreciation in return. I decided to reduce my presence and focus on personal activities, thereby making the other person realize my value and change the way they treated me. Creating a sense of scarcity and value starts with self-confidence and self-love. When you know what you have to offer and aren't afraid to keep the best for yourself, others will begin to look at you with admiration and respect. Seneca once said, "A wise person knows how to be satisfied with what he has." When you are satisfied with yourself and do not need validation from others, you become freer and stronger. A good piece of advice is to know how to politely say no and be selective about who you spend time with. This not only helps you keep your energy up, but also increases the value of every moment you share with others. Think about times when you've declined an invitation without feeling guilty and realize that saying no increases the respect others have for you. Have you ever tried creating a sense of scarcity and value in your life? Please share your story below in the comments. Remember, your value does not depend on the recognition of others, but on your confidence and self-esteem. Start creating a sense of scarcity and value today by loving and respecting yourself. Once you have created a sense of scarcity and value with your partner, you will notice that the other person begins to appreciate and respect you more. However, to maintain balance and promote relationship growth, the use of positive and negative reinforcement becomes extremely important. By giving praise and criticism at the right time, you not only reinforce good behaviors, but also tactfully correct those that are not. Coming to number 6, use positive and negative reinforcement. So how do we encourage positive behaviors and correct negative behaviors in our relationships without causing hurt? In Stoic philosophy, the use of positive and negative reinforcement is a subtle art of wisely and effectively modifying the behavior of others. Epictetus once said, "We do not control what happens to us, but we do control how we react." This highlights the importance of feedback. How we praise or criticize can make a big difference in the relationship. When using positive reinforcement, praising at the right time and in the right way will create strong motivation for the other person. In male-female relationships, sincere praise for small but meaningful efforts can spark joy and feelings of appreciation. A personal story of mine is when I began to realize the importance of giving praise. I once had a friend who always felt insecure about himself. Instead of focusing on her shortcomings, I started praising her strengths and small achievements. Gradually, her confidence improved and our relationship became closer. Conversely, negative reinforcement, when done skillfully and tactfully, can also help correct unwanted behaviors. This doesn't mean being harshly critical, but rather giving constructive feedback. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our goal is not to avoid suffering, but to use it to become stronger." When you have to criticize, do it with respect and with an eye toward improvement. A good tip is to combine both positive and negative reinforcement to create a balanced feedback environment. Praise when your partner does the right thing, and gently point out what needs improvement. This not only helps them feel respected, but also encourages personal growth. Remember, the power of feedback lies in its sincerity and balance. When you know how to praise and criticize at the right times, you will find your relationships become stronger and deeper. Have you ever tried combining positive and negative reinforcement in your daily life? If so, please comment yes below or share this experience with Morgan and everyone. Congratulations for patiently watching until the end of the video. You deserve 100 hearts for your dedication and enthusiasm. By understanding and applying positive and negative reinforcement, you have the keys to navigating and building relationships. Now we will explore a final technique that is equally important. This effect not only helps create a strong connection, but also makes your relationship deeper. Join me, Morgan, in discovering the ultimate power in building lasting and meaningful relationships. The last number, leverage the mirror effect. Have you ever been surprised to discover that by simply copying another person's simple actions, you can create a stronger connection? This may seem like it's breaking the mold, but the mirror effect is actually a powerful tool in building relationships. You just need to understand simply. The mirror effect is a psychological phenomenon in which when we imitate the behavior, attitude, or body language of others, they will feel closer and trust us more. In Stoic philosophy, this connection is not simply about action, but also about a deep understanding of human nature. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Always remember that this universe is change, and our lives are the result of our thoughts." Leveraging the mirror effect is a testament to how we can change and improve relationships through empathy and understanding. Morgan remembers one time when I was in an important meeting with a new partner. To make a good impression and build trust, I start by gently mimicking their sitting position, how they hold their drink, and even their speaking speed. Before long, we started to feel more comfortable, and our conversations became more open and friendly. The mirror effect has helped me build a relationship based on respect and trust. The mirror effect is not limited to face-to-face communication, but can also be applied in everyday situations. When you imitate the positive behaviors of others, you not only make them feel understood and empathized, but you also motivate yourself to become a better version of yourself. Epictetus once said, "It is not external events, but how we interpret them that matters." When we use the mirror effect, we are interpreting and responding to another person's behavior in a positive and constructive way. A useful piece of advice that Morgan gives you is, start with small things like smiles, eye contact, or hand gestures. Observe and gently copy other people's positive behaviors to create a more comfortable and pleasant communication environment. Think about the last time you felt completely in sync with someone through small gestures and natural interactions. Remember, the power of the mirror effect lies in sincerity and sophistication. Once you know how to use this effect, you will see your relationship become stronger and deeper. Together, we will learn how to apply the principles of Stoic philosophy to live a happy and meaningful life. Have you ever tried applying the mirror effect in daily life? Please share your story below in the comments. What changes do you think this could bring to your relationship? Coming to this part, Morgan wants to thank you for joining me in discovering 7 psychological techniques to create a powerful influence in your relationships. This journey is not just about mastering techniques, but also about better understanding ourselves and how we interact with the world around us. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true strength comes from within, from understanding, patience, and wisdom. These techniques, when used properly, not only help you create lasting relationships, but also help you become a better version of yourself. Morgan, thank you for your presence and support. The opinions, stories, and experiences you share not only enrich the discussion, but also create a strong and inspiring community. Let's continue to share and learn together, because only then can we go further on the path of self-discovery and development. Remember, these psychological techniques are not about manipulating or ruthlessly controlling others, but about creating deep understanding and building relationships based on respect and trust. Apply them with sincerity and empathy. Thank you for taking the time to watch and listen. Before we wrap up, can you guys help Morgan with this little thing? It means a lot to me to let me know what you think about this video by selecting one of the following options. 1. Not satisfied. 2. Normal. 3. Satisfaction. 4. Very satisfied. Please leave your vote in the comment section below. If you find this video useful, don't forget to press the like button, share with friends and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next videos. Also, stay tuned for other videos shown at the end of this video. Thank you, and wish you always find joy and peace in life. See you again in the next videos. Wishing you a wonderful and energetic day.